This is what I have to do. First of all, I have to stare at you guys like a creep, so I know I make a good cut in the edit later. Tonight, on a very special Public Access Live, our countdown to our 50th episode continues tonight with World Series of Comedy finalist. Thank you, Zero of T-Town, for that host. If you guys are just coming over from Zero of T-Town stream, thank you guys so much for being here. It's Public Access Live, and we're about to get this thing started. Happy Friday to you too, my man. Shawna Blake's with us tonight. I'm not even kidding. There's nothing I could say other than sound like Kermit the Frog and go like Muppet Show style and just... Shawna Blake, yay! All right, that all starts in 3, 2, 1. Mike's hot.
Good. Good.
I think I have the camera at an angle so people can't tell the resolution of the Very important.
Yeah.
That sounded tasty. Somebody just joined the channel.
Ooh,
I get alerts like doorbells.
that's fun. Because they're coming in here.
Mhm.
They do that. That's nice.
England is in the house. Tulsa is in the house. A couple of times. Welcome to Public Access Live, your window through my window. Tonight's guest is incredible, basically.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
Shawna Blake, you've done the World Series of Comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, passed.
No big deal.
You've got to open for some A-listers.
I have.
You are also a graduate of the Bedgood School of Comedy.
Correct.
When you started that, was it a dare?
No, actually, I was one of those crazy people that was like, I want to do this.
You knew when you took the class.
Yeah.
You wanted to open for Jeff Ross. You wanted to.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, but you wanted comedy to pay your bills. It wasn't like, let's see how it goes.
It was sort of like I thought I was funny, in life. And other people didn't tell me I was wrong about that.
Hey, Shawna, you should be a comedian.
Yeah. And I was
Really?
like, well, I don't know
Well.
if they said that, but, basically. And so I was like, okay, let's try a stand-up comedy class. I'm a learner. I like a class setting.
You know that you are the bar. When I
The
took
bar?
when I took Peter's class,
Uh-huh.
I was one class behind Katie Van Patten, who was already being labeled the next Shawna Blake.
Oh,
You
that's
were the
exciting.
bar.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
I did not know that.
No, there's you are an underground legend.
Oh, fun. Good. That's what I want. That's what I want.
You were one win away from cementing your legendary status.
Mm-hmm.
All you had to do was beat your boyfriend in Tulsa's Funniest when you were dating Ryan Green.
That's
That's
true.
all you had. If you had
Yeah.
beat him,
Yeah. Look, I did at one of the competitions.
you're so close.
I was King Looney
That's true.
at one point. So I'm just saying, he was in that competition too. I just want the record to state,
What was your first inkling that you had a gift for this?
Like before I started doing stand-up or during or... I don't know. I used to, when I, in
That's
college...
an interesting question. I just figured you would know the point where you were like, oh, I
yeah.
know
When do you think I knew?
Yeah.
Agent Dubsky, when do you think I knew?
I don't hide behind that name.
Gosh,
I have to
someone's
promote my
gotta
own
know.
comedy shows. I can't hide behind...
I mean, John Tyler.
Right?
When do you think I knew? Yeah, I when in college I took a lot of creative writing classes because I was really into the teacher because I thought he was
Okay.
hot. And he was like, you're funny, like your writing is funny, but you have no plot, or story. So you should do something with being funny, but it's not writing.
If you could tell
So
an
I was like-
entire story in 2.5 minutes, this would be perfect.
Yeah.
You're like, who does that?
What?
Comedians.
Exactly.
Comedians do that.
Exactly.
I can do that.
Comedians, yeah. So I took it from there to verbal.
You have a speech background as far as teaching.
Mm-hmm.
How well did that put you ahead of the curve?
I think that really helped a lot. So when I took Peter Bedgood's stand-up class. When I got up there, I was already like, oh yeah, I can stand in front of people and say words to them. That's something I've already done and can do. So that, I think, really helped having that background just in performing in general.
Did you have theater background?
Not really.
Okay.
But when I did speech and debate, I did the acting part of it. So like the oral interpretation with the little books, and I'm being characters. So
you get this class,
mm-hmm.
and the offers just start, right? No, how did you? Well, let's go from here. How did you bridge from I'm a Peter Bedgood graduate to I'm a World Series of Comedy contestant? Like where did? That's a huge step.
Mm-hmm.
To think, I mean, as far as confidence-wise,
mm-hmm.
to say I'm gonna compete against people that do this for a living.
Yeah. I was just really, I guess it seems like I was real cocky. I was just like, listen, I got this. I'm 1 month in. I'm going to create a Facebook page.
I've already got an hour.
Like you should. I've got an hour. No, I wasn't. I wasn't that person. I just need you to know that I wasn't doing that.
If you need somebody to do 50 minutes, call me.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm ready to headline. I've been to 2 open mics, so I'm there. You know how it goes, everybody.
What did you hit, VFW?
Yeah, I did. My first hosting gig was VFW. It was very exciting. Yeah,
downtown
VFW.
comic, VFW's your spot.
That's right.
Sunday nights at the Parlor.
That's right. I was at the Parlor a lot. That was my first open mic, was the Parlor.
3 weeks a month was, Kristen. She ran the open mic.
Yeah.
And then Sean Baker ran like the third Sunday of the month. And he was brutal. Right. If you guys don't know Sean Baker's open mic hosting style, he lights you. If you don't get the hint, he'll stand at the side of the stage. Mm-hmm. If you still don't get the hint, he'll get on stage. Mm-hmm. And then if you don't get the hint, he'll take the mic away from you and just push you out of the way.
I honestly think more people should do that. Like, more people should be shoved off stage.
God, it would have been so good in Joplin when Joe Johnson started going off.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that guy?
I do.
The host that night, he's like, he basically sours the crowd, puts them on ice, and then goes, John Tyler! And I'm like,
dig yourself out of this hole.
I did it to Katie Van Patten one night at Lot 6. Happens to everybody.
Everyone needs that. Yeah.
Is there still things you want to achieve? I mean, come on,
Well, yeah.
I mean, what would have to happen for you to go, I've made it?
I've made it?
Yeah, like what? You've got a hell of a CV already.
Yeah, it's been really cool. I've gotten to do some really awesome shows. That is very true.
Would you like to do some name dropping? I did a couple.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's David Tell and Jeff Ross. That was a huge deal.
At the WinStar.
Yeah. That was a huge... I was like,
That's where I was sitting in the audience watching Norm David Spade and Dennis Miller. It was like, Spade on that stage.
I was like, I'm going to have to sprint across it because it was so big. And I was wearing heels. So I was like, I don't want to waste my time walking across the stage.
And that place is set up like a mega church anyway. It's got big screens on both sides of the stage. And it's
absolutely.
I've been here before.
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't know that I want the camera below me shooting up at me to put myself on the screen. But I guess you guys do what you got to do.
But do you do that intentionally? Do you think there's always a camera at the bottom of the stage? Because you lean into a lot of jokes.
Oh, really?
When you're on stage, like when you try to sell a punchline,
like
you don't have to try. I made that sound terrible.
When you sell a punchline, when you try, no one's buying it. Yeah. You're hawking it out there anyway.
No, you'll kind of lean into the audience a little bit and kind of turn your shoulder to them.
I want us to really connect.
Did you study body language through any of your speech and debate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, when I teach, because I teach speech also, other thing that I do. I really like learning about all the nonverbal ways to communicate and audience analysis.
Do you deliberately use that information in your set?
I feel like I should consciously more than I do, but I don't.
You're very polished.
Thank you.
I mean, of course you are, because you have more experiences than some of us have had, but I mean, even on that level.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at just a few names of people who have had the opportunity and have used it and polished their acts, like you and Fritchie and who else would I throw in that bunch? Landry. Mm-hmm. There's people. CR. How polished is CR?
Very.
Whatever crowd, whatever the age, whatever.
He can make it happen.
Boom.
Yeah.
He's your guy.
That's very impressive.
Give me the mic.
Yeah, I'm always like, okay, I need CR to be on this. Does it have to be clean? Does it have to be whatever? Do I need someone to be like, we're fun?
Oh, our first question's in. Mojo and Kiki says, David Tell, did you pee yourself?
I mean, I don't want to say that, but a little bit, yeah. Well, here's the thing.
3 little drops, that's it.
He texted me, "Hey, Shawna, this is Dave the comic." I was like,
The comic.
what is happening right now? That was very much like, is this real life?
That's
Am I
kind of
asleep?
ballsy. Not Dave the Insomniac that everybody would know him, but like he's the only comic named Dave.
I like the idea. See, I took it like he
Shawna the
was
comic.
so nice. Like, he was like, the comedian guy.
Right.
But it's like, this person, like, I wouldn't know him as who he was.
Well,
yeah.
Can we ask what the text was? Why does he send you a little message there?
Because he was trying to, like, he hadn't talked to me yet. Like, we were in the weird process of how to, from there to there to his agent to put me on the show.
You got, like, last minute, like, you opened for him at the Cherokee West Asylum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he was just stunned and said, you got to come with me to Thackerville?
Well, it was it was kind of both. I knew I was doing both ahead of time. Yeah, like, it was going to be him Thursday night, just him, and then it was going to be him and Jeff Ross together for their Bumping Mics tour in Thackerville. Yeah. So he wanted to actually speak to me beforehand, and he was so nice.
Can you believe how the shows are bringing to Thackerville?
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm going to see Patton Oswalt this month there.
I was actually thinking about that, but we're taking a vacation.
Bragging about your vacation.
Yeah, the first one I've had in like 2 decades. 17. I had a vacation on my honeymoon 18 years ago.
Wow.
I really haven't had one since.
Yeah.
When you were in Poto, though, you were a lot closer.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
The
that's
convenience
true.
of Thackerville
That's
was
true.
like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But while we're there, like we went to go see Norm and David Spade, another Dave the comic,
Yeah.
Insomniac guy, and Dennis Miller, and just as we're leaving, like they're like coming soon, and it was like November 30th, an evening with John Cleese. It's like, what did I just say? I'm in Texas, right? And then it was like December 7th, Jerry Seinfeld is like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like December 14th, Penn and Teller, and it's like, who's booking this
Right.
place?
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's huge.
Miss Blake, is there a thing that you do that is a guarantee to connect with the audience? Thank you so much.
A guarantee to connect with the audience? Oh, that's a good question.
Because we have what, like 30 to 60 seconds to
Yeah, you got to do it fast.
to really make those people in the
Yeah.
audience feel like you're part of the same tribe as them. So do you have a trick?
I don't know that I have a trick. I just always try to start with a really good joke. Because, that's why I tell you got to start strong, you got to end strong, right? So
Unless you're
just
Peter Bedgood and then you get up there and you do an awkward pause.
That's true. Peter Bedgood can just stare at someone for
And draw
45
them
seconds
in.
and they're like, I want to hear what this guy's going to say. Yeah, I don't have that kind of Peter Bedgood confidence where I'm just going to stare at the audience.
Is there, if you have confidence in your writing and you have confidence in your delivery, is there a point where you look out and you see someone, you're like, I've got them? Do you ever get that, like, I could say yellow mustard on my leg right now, they're gonna laugh. I have them. Have you ever felt like you had power over the audience?
I don't think I've ever felt it consciously, like in the moment, like I could just say nonsense and it'd be fine. But I have definitely felt like, oh, these are my people. Like they like me.
Do you feel like you could step out of the way and just conduct the laughter? Seriously, I went back and I started listening to people that I listened to before I wanted to be an edgy comedian. Because of course I love Patton Oswalt. He's our Carlin for this generation. I really believe that. He's a great writer. His delivery's immaculate. But before that, I used to listen to Richard Jenny, and I went back and listened to a couple of like Platypus Man and Good Little Catholic Boy, and I was stunned to find the writing wasn't as clever as Patton Oswalt's. But the crowd was having such a good time, and it was almost like he was just helping them laugh, rather than, ha, I'm gonna say something to get you.
Yeah,
You know? Like, do you feel like you could do that?
I always that's my style, is more like I just want to be funny. I just want to like have fun with you. I'm never going to be like
Have a good time with them.
insult people. Yeah, like I'm never the person that's like, I'm gonna.
And you don't have a very cynical style anyway.
Yeah.
Very, very sunshine.
I think it's easier to do that when you are more upbeat or more sort of just, we're all here to have fun, than I am gonna try to be sharper.
This question coming in from Lincolnshire, England. If you were taking 5 comedians on a global tour, who would you get? No Dubsky. You know, I never felt like I was going to get part of that list anyway, so thank you.
Oh, so if I could just take my friends with,
yeah,
we're all gonna
your
go out
Comedians
together.
of Comedy tour starring Shawna Blake and 5 of her tag-alongs.
Oh.
But you get to pick anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah, Seinfeld could be one of your tag-alongs.
Oh, wow.
Anybody.
That would be crazy. See, now that's tempting to be like all these great people, but then you're like, well, I just,
they're gonna make me look.
They're gonna make me look bad, Like if I'm bringing
so then you start thinking
amazing
about
people,
Dubsky
then
and
I'm
you're
like, I would rather take people that. Well, I would honestly rather take people that I just like. Oh, we get along, and we could do stand up together,
me
and
and
we hang out.
5 first-time open micers go out on a global tour together.
100%.
And learn how to do crowd
100%.
work
I would be like,
on the job.
You said you have an hour and this is your first open mic. You're coming with me. Let's do this. You can do the whole thing.
What are some of the cliches that you've seen through now that you've started doing comedy? Like the people, the bravado of the I've got notebooks and stuff. Like, then why are you doing the same 5 minutes every time I see you?
Yeah.
I mean, how many of the cliches have you broken down of things that you heard before and you're like, I bet that person really does have notebooks worth of stuff, and then you get into comedy and you're like, no, that's a BS artist. I didn't know that before.
Yeah, it's that way. It's usually people think they have longer than they do. I can do an hour. No, probably not. I mean, you can speak for an hour, but no one wants that. You shouldn't do that if you're new.
Right.
You shouldn't do that if you're new.
Did you have any preconceived notions about how everything was going to happen?
I don't think so. I did this very much like I do a lot of things in my life. I was just like, well, it's happening. I'll just keep doing it. There wasn't any. I should have more of a plan. Really, I should be a person that's like, I'm going to do these things and try to work towards something. I'm just sort of going with the flow here. What's happening next?
Wait, what about the 5? Okay, they still want you to do 5. They still want you to name drop.
People that I know in my life that I would bring with me on this tour.
Anyone.
Any person. Any people.
It could be dead or alive. You could bring Richard Pryor's carcass
I would
onto
like
it.
Carcass. I really would like to bring a carcass. Yeah, let's do that. Because me and Richard Pryor, our style, so similar. I feel like people would really like it.
We'll get back to the 5.
We will. I'll answer the 5. I promise.
One of the things I could honestly compliment you with is I don't know anyone to compare you to.
Oh, good. I like that.
I would love to say, oh, she's a little Maria Bamford, or she's a little Wendy Liebman, or she's a little, just to put a name or a label on it, but there really isn't, and that's probably the best compliment you can get, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that you have a unique.
I like that.
Could you tell when you went to World Series? Oh, back to the 5. Never mind.
Okay, the 5. I'm going to throw some names out there. I'm going to say I'm going to bring. I just want to pick people that I like so we could hang out.
Okay.
That feels like a good plan. People that in my mind I would like
as a comedian.
She's
going for a very economical answer because she's thinking I have to share the comedy condo with these people. I don't want pigs or smelly or bad breath. Or...
Yeah.
All right, then go on.
Okay, so let's see. Well, maybe I would just bring my dog to open for me because he's super cute. He can just be on the floor.
Totally get the crowd on your side,
the crowd
right?
would love him, and then they would love me because I brought him.
I bring puppies on set.
See, puppies. It's a good plan.
That's right.
I would bring some cheeseburgers out with me also.
As your feature?
I would hand some out beforehand. So that's something that we're doing.
So far, the 5 include her dog, a Brahms sack of burgers.
Yes. I didn't specify Brahms. I'm open. If anyone wants to sponsor me,
I'm just trying to
I'm open to any kind of
who else
fast
sells
food.
sacks of burgers.
Sonic sometimes has a Tuesday night special for half price.
In happy hour
Just
every
saying.
day at before 5.
I used to live right down the road from a Sonic, and it was problematic for my health because I was there a lot. I would also bring a t-shirt cannon to shoot out t-shirts at the crowd along with the cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburger and t-shirt cannon.
Got it.
Got
And then Tito's vodka.
Bert Kirshner brings burgers. It works.
There you go. Great minds. Great minds.
Bert Kirshner is okay. If you're a Bedgood comic, We've had plenty on the show. And I'm not saying Roy's class doesn't get on this show. They just have to work a little harder. That's all.
Oh. There's a whole thing going on here.
No, there's not. I just think it's funny that ever since like Kirshner and Rogan mentioned Roy's name, like the whole hashtag I'm Roy Johnson thing started.
That's great.
On social media, it's like,
That's
were
great.
you Roy Johnson before Kirshner and Rogan called you out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. That's fine.
He went straight for it though with the hashtag. I was like, man, if I had something to brand, I'd do it too.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
great.
So we have Tito's vodka.
Yeah. Cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburger T-shirt cannons.
My dog.
Your dog.
And I bring my friend Rachel to carry my bags. She's my bag bitch. Hashtag bag bitch.
I'm bag bitch.
She's fun. We get along. We're good friends. She would carry all my shit, and that would be.
I could go for a burger. Me too. Okay, you guys are missing it. See, you wanted the 5.
Yeah.
Now that we're on the 5, we're already to food porn, and we haven't even talked about geek stuff yet.
Yeah.
You guys are skipping it.
Sorry. I'm sorry to
Okay.
break the food porn barrier so early.
Actually, I know, right?
Gotta ease
that's,
into
that's
that.
the end of the show.
Okay.
It always happens too. It's like no matter what you're talking about, somebody will go, ask her what she has for Thanksgiving. It's like, okay, you guys, did we talk too much about comedy?
Yeah,
You guys ready
probably,
for the food?
probably.
Rachel the bag bitch sounds great.
She's great.
Hashtag I'm the bag bitch.
It's a good time. It's a good position, honestly. You get all the perks of like doing cool stuff.
Would you want to be the superstar on stage or the best friend of the superstar that's photobombing all the time?
I want to be the superstar. For sure. That's what I want. Because I'm very, I do stand up. Don't we all? Like, we're a little self-centered. If we're out there, we're like, look at me, everybody.
I haven't told them about that part yet.
Oh, sorry.
I've tried to make comedy sound honorable and noble.
Oh, please don't. I don't want to interrupt your live. Don't. I'm just up here with a microphone yelling, but don't look at me. I'm really shy.
I haven't been going out a lot lately, but in the past few weeks I caught you at the Wine Loft, and then I went to, I saw Peter and Mark Viola at Heirlooms, and just caught and the week before that I was at a VFW Winter Showcase. Now those 3 shows, 2 of them got heckled.
Really?
There was a loud guy having a conversation right next to the stage. But I mean, they're bars, so it happens.
It does happen.
They weren't like bespoke comedy clubs, but it's like, is everybody unruly now at shows?
Yeah.
Are they?
Well, it just depends on the show.
You run a mic.
Yeah, I do. I run an open mic at Red's downtown at 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights.
When I get back from vacations, there'll be a Tuesday I won't be here, and I'll be at her show.
That's right. Because it's a happening time.
It's a happening time.
Mm-hmm.
Do bar shows spook you at all? The inconsistency of the size of the crowd or the noise, or did you ever play Romano's in Fayetteville? It was a pool hall where they made everybody stop playing pool while the comedians got on stage.
I think so.
And there's a lot of impatient people just standing there with pool
with
cues.
The cues.
Like just waiting for it. Is that his last joke? Is that his closer?
They're like his pitchforks.
Oh, God. He's going to drag this joke out another 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And we actually stood in front of where the people played darts. Like, the dart people had to move.
Wow.
You
That's
did.
amazing. No, I don't think I did that place.
Have you had similar experiences playing less than bespoke comedy clubs?
Yes. Yes.
Have you ever been truly heckled?
Truly heckled has only happened a couple of times.
Not like your friends busting your...
Yeah, no. I think, the time that I remember most vividly that I was heckled was when a guy yelled out, "Hey, show us your tits," at me while I was on stage trying to tell jokes. So that wasn't great. That was probably the most direct heckle I've received.
But, not to take a guy.
Yes.
I'm not to take this guy's side because there is no side to take.
Right.
But probably the previous experiences he'd had in his own personal life with females on stage.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It was at a very shady bar in Muskogee, Oklahoma. So, I mean, if you know where Muskogee is or what it's like, that was probably the best case scenario for that show, honestly.
We were hoping it was going to end like that, or maybe a little better.
Yeah, that's the best we could do.
Oh, good. Miss Blake, any horrible heckler stories? Well, we've just...
That's the one, really. That's the worst one, probably.
How deep downtown is Reds?
It's where Woody's used to be, if that's a reference point for anybody. Yeah, that was what it was called before. It's that one around the corner.
See, I thought it was that one that Austin had over by Brady Theater, like on First or.
Yeah, no, this one's on Second. Third?
Okay, but it's on the east end of downtown.
Yeah, it's down like Yokozuna, and then it's like walk down.
The show we used to do that had like all the posters on the wall. I think my banner on Facebook still has that place. But that place was like a block away from the jail and the bail bonds. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I didn't know exactly where Reds was. I know I committed to going.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
but now I'm stoked.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, that's over by the Max. I'm good.
It's they've got pool tables going on, so we are competing with that. It's
during
fun.
The show?
Yeah. It's good times.
The tit was in the audience. Thank you, Guyver.
True. True story. I agree.
Are you totally committed to work and comedy? Do you have time to indulge in binge series on Netflix, or do you enjoy board games or video games or movies, or what do you like? What does Shawna Blake nerd out on?
Yeah, nerd out on. I'm shopping around for something to really nerd out on still. Like to really be like, this is a thing I love so much.
Have you got into any of the past fads, the Walking Deads or the Breaking Bads or Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, I did Breaking Bad, but I was kind of late. I was a little behind. I do. I'm a Netflix binger. I do enjoy that.
See, that's what I like to do. See, I wouldn't watch Downton Abbey until they were all out and they showed up on Netflix, and then we watched them like in a week.
That's what I want to do.
End to end, because it's like I don't want to wait till next week to find out what happens.
Yeah.
Did you get into Downton Abbey?
No, I haven't watched that one. Is it?
It's a lot of pageantry.
Okay.
If you like Catholic Church, it's perfect.
Well,
it's a lot of pomp and circumstance.
It's good to know.
With a ton less guilt.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah. I like true crime stuff.
Really?
I'm into that. Like to My Favorite Murder, the podcast. Like a lot of podcasts about murder.
So the
Mindhunter.
Patton Oswalt's former wife, kind of.
Yes. Yeah. That.
Did you read her?
Book, yes. Okay. Well, I didn't. I've only read the one that came out after she passed, the Golden State Killer one. I loved that book. Like that book made me afraid, and I'm not. Like it just like just reading it was like, oh, like I really thought about it happening more than some other stuff that you just kind of skim over, like the details. But this was like,
so you by reading the book, you actually put yourself as witness to the scene.
Yeah, it was traumatizing.
Wow,
it was good.
That's powerful.
It was really good.
Yeah, well written, I guess.
Yes.
Stranger Things this weekend. Apparently, the first episode causes nightmares in 5-year-olds.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So apparently there's something new to binge this weekend. Stranger Things?
Okay. Yeah, I've seen Stranger Things.
I'm not a binge. I rarely catch on to TV.
Really?
I just don't.
Not a TV person?
Not really. I found something I liked whenever the BBC did Sherlock.
Oh, okay.
With Benedict Cumberbatch and Alan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cast really well. And Stephen Moffat, who did Doctor Who, and Mark Gatiss, who plays Mycroft in the series, do really good writing, and they cast it really well, and it's really well performed, and each episode's like an hour and a half, so it's like a mini movie.
Oh, that's nice.
And they did 4 episodes a year for like 4 years, and then it's done.
Yeah.
All they did was basically modernize the original Sherlock Holmes short stories. And I loved it, and I haven't found anything that I like as much, so I still go back and rewatch that rather than watch something new.
I'm the worst about doing that. I'm like, okay, well, have I seen 30 Rock 7 times all the way through? Probably.
I've got an hour. Do I want to waste it maybe watching something I'm not going to like, or go directly for something I know gets me right here?
Yeah. I know. I feel bad when I do that. I'm like, there are so many good shows, but yet...
Do you like the sitcom stuff?
Yeah. I like to put it on when I'm doing something else now at this point, because if I've seen it, like Parks and Rec or 30 Rock, if I'm grading or working on something else or whatever, I'll put it on the background as my like.
As a talented person yourself, how much do you hate Donald Glover?
Yeah, so talented.
Because we were talking about it.
It's crazy. It's like, how are you all the things?
He started out with the bro rape and blowjob girl and all that stuff on YouTube, and then next thing you know, it's like, hey, isn't that guy from YouTube? Is that him on Community?
Yeah.
And then it's like, did he just win a Grammy?
Yeah.
Is he just playing Lando better than Billy D. Williams?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's
too
like
much.
it's Timberlake. It's like
too much.
It's too much talent in one package.
Yeah, can't you spread it around a little bit?
Tell me he's got a big schlong too. I'm like, no! Please give him a deformity, something.
Yeah.
Let's even the playing field.
Yeah.
What's your ritual before going on stage? Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's
That's a
asked
good
that
one.
question ever.
Yeah, I feel mine is usually just sort of, I like to go back over my set because I try to like put it, what?
Just had this mental picture of you in front of a mirror going, showtime.
Oh yeah, just like.
Showtime. It's showtime.
I like to cover myself in baby blood, soak in that, light 3 candles, blow 2 of them out. Yeah, no, I should have more of a ritual. I really just kind of go back over my set, like what jokes am I telling in what order. I like to look at the people and be like, yeah, I think this will work for them. Just kind of, I hope.
I'm not connecting with that guy. He wants to see my breast.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk to him. I'm going to avoid him. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, it's not anything cool. Like, I know a lot of people do a lot of cool, like, different specific things. I just sort of, here we go.
I missed 2 questions from Zero of T-Town. What color is Zero of T-Town? Oh, he's got the same lettering as Mojo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zero.
You're really messing this up.
No, we're not. You know why? Because when this is edited out for Saturday, you'll never see that.
Okay, great.
Actually, I'm the worst. I'm the laziest editor. I crop the beginning where you hear the announcement, and I crop the end where people would normally see me stand up and go back over there, and that's it.
That's
Everything
good.
else is in there.
Yeah.
It's a live to tape show.
I like it.
Okay, let's go back to, and then I'll get to you, Wasteland Warrior. Have Mrs. Blake ever frozen on stage?
Ooh, that's a good question. Kind of. I have had a weird moment where I was like, I don't remember any of the jokes that I have right now, and just sort of took a minute, but not complete. Like, I didn't shut it down. Like, I got back in. But I have had a moment where I have forgotten sort of what I was going to go into next. And that happened more often, I think, when I was newer.
So you forgot your segue?
Yeah, I just sort of forgot. And then when I first
transition.
started, I was very like, these are the jokes in this order, right? Because it's like, that's what I got to do.
You almost have to remember the connections more than the jokes. The jokes you'll remember.
Yes, the jokes I know, yeah, but to get to the next joke. And so I have frozen there where I forgot what I was doing next. But came back
Have you ever
in.
ad-libbed a little crowd work and then not got back?
Yeah, like, oh wait, what happened now? Yeah, yeah. Where
Where
was
were
I?
you?
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst phrase you can hear. What do I want to say?
I've seen people that are supposed to be polished. I mean, I saw Dennis Miller do it. And he goes, "What else do I need to talk to you guys about?" And I'm like, "Come on, man! I don't even use that line."
I know. I've done it before, and it's shameful, but I've done it before.
Let's see. Have you ever turned up at a venue and the booking agent thought you were someone else?
Oh, I don't think so. No, but that would be interesting. Like, oh, I didn't mean to put you on this show. I thought you were someone else. Well, I'm here now, so I'm talking. I'm going up anyway. Too bad.
I thought we had Todd Berry this weekend. Are you Todd Berry?
Yeah, I am now. If that's who you want me to be, I'll be.
How much was Todd getting for the weekend?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I'm someone more famous. I like their rate.
Most of the people that come on here, I mean, to stick with comedy, I'm not ready to go yet to food. But according to most people on here, when comedy pays their bills,
Yeah.
is that what the grind's for?
Yeah.
To get to the point where this
Yeah.
is the life and it pays for me.
Yes. I'm very lucky that I really like my job that I get paid to do.
Right.
And I also get to do stand up. But I think the ultimate goal would to be like, to really think I'm a real comedian, that this is what I am, would be that comedy could pay my bills, that I could just focus on that
Right.
more than other things. So yeah, that's the goal for sure.
Do you have a time frame that you'd like to get that done in? You like
That's
in
a
the
good
next?
question.
I want to keep going, but you know, how long do you go before you're like,
Yeah.
you've already done so much.
I've done. So that's what I'm saying. Like right now, I feel like I'm in a really cool spot of like I have gotten to do really great shows, and just to continue trying to do those things makes me happy enough to keep doing it.
This is more for me than. Hey, welcome, Crispo. Scandinavia in the house. Little Swedish love.
Nice.
I
don't know what that was.
Are you very?
That was weird.
Are you very? It's my favorite bit. The first time I saw you do that, I died. Like, I've got people in my family that use that for real.
Oh God.
Yeah,
that's excellent.
That's their opener.
That's wonderful.
Where you're at right now, to Crispo, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. This thing's just going to keep making noise. That's 2. Every time there's a sub to the channel, it's going to make that alert, and he just gifted like 10 subs.
Nice.
That's 3.
Cool.
I'm going to try to get a question in here in the middle.
This is exciting, yeah.
I know, right? Welcome, Cuzwalt, Detrucci, Wafers, Beaky Fox, thank you so much. James, Nine Scar, Rune Jr., Surreal Max. Thank you guys for those subscriptions. Last week we had a subscriber named, and I quote, his name was PSSSHH.
Nice.
So
that's cool.
Thank you for being here tonight. How many is that?
5,
Can I continue the show
6.
now? I love your face, Crispo. I really do. There's no way I could be mad at you for gifting subs to the channel.
I hope they love our face too, because that's really all they're getting right now. It's just here we are. You would think it would get less exciting, but it doesn't.
I think we're down to. I think this is the last one.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, this is for me personally. Nobody's asked this, but do you find now that you have what I would call definite momentum in the field of comedy, that you are more hesitant with who you network with or who you let hitch their wagon to you? Do you understand that?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you conscious of that when you meet people or you see people that want to meet you? Does it ever pop into your mind?
It doesn't really yet, because I know that I've gotten to do great fun shows, and I do feel like I have some momentum and like things are happening, but I'm not in a position at this point that I can really do much for anybody else.
Right.
Or anything, so I don't really feel that I'm, if that makes sense.
Right.
Or if that's what you're asking.
Well, I'm just thinking like, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say 99% of the people in Tulsa haven't got a direct text from Dave Attell.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So, would you think that, are you more leery of people at all?
Not really.
That's awesome.
No. Yeah.
No, really.
No.
I mean,
yeah.
You would think there would be like some kind of, I don't know, maybe if I didn't open for Dave, this person wouldn't be, you know?
Yeah. No, not really. I don't think. I mean, I just feel like I'm so great to be around. People just love me for me.
It's true.
But no, I because I don't. Although people don't know that, I guess. Like if you see people doing cool stuff, you're like, oh, they can do this for me too. But I mean, I don't have that power yet. Hopefully one day.
What's your go-to comfort food? Let's start the food porn.
Okay. Go-to comfort food.
Thank you, Wasteland Warrior.
Good question. My favorite comfort food is chicken and dumplings. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of straight family.
Yeah.
Teach you on that?
Yeah.
Kind of like a grandma's kitchen kind of thing.
Yes. My gran made the best chicken and dumplings, so I always loved them.
Miss Blake, if you could go back in time and watch any comedy show live, what would it be?
That's a good question. I feel like I disappoint people because I'm really not good at like watching comedy. Like before I started doing stand-up, I never really watched stand-up. I watched Sinbad with my parents, but I wasn't like
Son of a Preacher Man?
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anybody that you were tracing when you first started?
When I first started, and I did get, like, I really loved what you said earlier, that you couldn't think of someone to compare me to. When I first started, a lot of people said Amy Schumer is who I reminded them of. And I feel like when I first started, that was the person that, like, I wrote a paper about her in college because I was in communication and did, like, a rhetorical criticism of her, one of her specials. So I knew her before I got, like, all the way into comedy and started watching other things.
Was she already under the scrutiny of, the people that were accusing her of stealing jokes at that time?
No, not at that time.
So she was just...
Yeah,
okay.
that was still when I first started into it, was one of her first specials, I think, so that was before that, yeah.
Do you ever get starstruck?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, anytime I've gotten to meet or see somebody that I looked up to.
I don't remember the photos, or if Rick went with you. When I don't remember seeing any, but is Jeff Ross as tall as you?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I think
okay.
Well, I was wearing heels.
But I'm just wondering, it's really hard to be starstruck when you're
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's funny. Yeah, he's not that tall, really. Now that you say that, I guess. But
I was the bigger star on the stage that night by 2.5 inches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, see, I feel like I just don't know what to say to people, because I'm like, I don't want to be weird and, like, ask a bunch of comedy questions. Then I'm like, well, that's what they probably expect, but I also don't want to act like, oh, we're just the same, we're just cool, like, because it's just so weird. I don't know what to do.
Best opener for that? Hey, what's new?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's not pretentious.
Yeah.
It's just...
What's up?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been going on with you lately?
Right.
Yeah. The last time I saw you, you were doing this special, and,
How was that?
Yeah. You don't have to...
Yeah.
There's a fine line to...
Yeah.
It's like, who's this bootlicker?
Right. Well, I feel that, like, if I get to, like, be connected to them, like, I'm opening, and then I feel it's easier, because I'm like, well, yeah, like, I should get to at least say words to you, and it's cool, because we're not equals here at all, but you accept me enough to put me on the stage, So I think it's a little easier then, but out in the world with random comedians. I got to meet Nicole Byer at Blue Well, and I was like, because I love her.
From Nailed It?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, it's so
I've
fun.
never heard her do her stand-up.
She was great. She
but
killed it.
I've seen her on that show.
Yeah.
I laugh.
I love her so much, and I just was like, well, I guess just all the things at her, like a weirdo, because I just was like, okay. Yeah.
And then she goes, nailed it.
Yeah, no, I did not say that to her, and she did not say that to me.
I'm your biggest fan. You nailed it.
Yeah. That would be great if that's all she said. Like, it didn't matter what anyone said
like
to her.
her version of
nailed
dude.
it. Nailed it. Yeah.
Nailed it?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah.
You can't make a question of nailed it. Do you use any of your stand-up stuff on your students?
Mm-hmm.
Or we can also twist this question. Mm-hmm. Do you use any of your students for your stand-up?
Well, these are good questions.
And if it gets you in any trouble,
please
do not answer, because this goes out on the internet tomorrow.
Yeah. I do try to always make jokes in class, but I don't use my, like, stand-up material on them. So I don't do that. Like, they're a captive audience, which is nice, but I don't.
Other people's stand-up.
Yeah.
I do nothing but Super Dave exclusively for my students.
That's perfect. I do show them bits in class as examples.
Oh, you're that person. Oh, let me just show you this video on my phone.
Yeah. No, I'm not that. I say, look, you see how John Mulaney just crafted this story? Let's learn from that.
Truly, yeah.
Yeah, because they're good examples for how to give a speech. And I would never use any of my students in my stand-up act.
Of course not. That would be wrong.
Never.
My two goalies in life is being on Hot Ones and Public Access Live. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chris Poe. If you ever come to America, you can be on the show.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
Get 'em on here.
I want to talk about food.
Okay, let's talk
because
about
that chicken
food.
and dumplings got me. I was like, oh,
I love it.
That's traditional.
I love it.
Are you a very adventurous You like the taste of India, the Thai places? Or are you more of a blue plate kind of chicken fried steak?
I'm pretty open. Like, I don't think I'm adventurous. Like, I'm not creative. Like, I'm not like, I'm going to make this cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone's like, hey, let's go eat here, doesn't matter where, I'm like, I'm down. Like, I'll try it.
If you were going to make or buy yourself something to treat yourself, what would it be? Follow-up question, if you were trying to impress someone, what would you make or where would you take them?
Okay.
So how would you treat you? How would you treat someone else?
That's a great question.
In the field of food.
In the field of food.
Yes.
Okay. See, this is a good question because, I don't know if this is too much information here, but on my first date with my current boyfriend, the way he got me, he made cheesecake. So I'm just like, that's an impressive thing. So I feel like if I could...
cheesecake or like the icebox cheesecake?
Like he made a full, like a baked...
Huh.
Yeah. So...
Kind of a try hard, wouldn't you say?
I mean, it was really... Yeah, of course he had to try hard, come on.
Kind of raising the bar for the rest of it.
Yeah,
Hey,
really.
Just calm down, fella.
That was, the
God.
bar is high now. So, when I'm out there looking for future boyfriends, I'm like, listen.
When I'm done with him.
Yeah, like, what can you make on a first date if it's not as impressive as cheesecake? So that is...
The day you break up with this guy, it's going to be like, you know what? We didn't work out. But you did show me what I really wanted in life.
It's cheesecake.
It's cheesecake.
100%.
Was it flavored? Like a turtle cheese?
It was just plain, and it was so good. Yeah. Which is harder, I think, because it's better if you can just throw some stuff on it. But this was like, yeah.
I've been to Cheesecake Factory. I was impressed. Because I didn't like cheesecake till I went there. I was like,
yeah.
that looks amazing.
No, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
Cheesecake, did you beat yourself?
What is this person like? Got a thing for pee,
or maybe they just have trouble controlling it and they're hoping everybody's on board.
Yeah, everybody.
Like, does anybody else? Anybody else?
Oh my gosh, this is a friend of mine texted me the other day and she's like, I just got a flyer for a bladder control class that was held at the Golden Corral. So this person, if this is a problem for you, I don't know what day it was. I didn't save the information.
There's a bladder control class at the Golden
Corral. Yep. I think
it just writes itself.
I just want you to know that that's out there for you. So I did not pee myself for the cheesecake. But I understand why a person would.
Oh, back to you. Yes. How do you treat yourself?
Oh, right.
How do you make someone else feel special?
If I was making something for myself, I want it to be really rich. Like, I don't know, like a pasta of some sort, probably. Okay. I would like to make that. But I'm just now getting into cooking. I'm really bad at it. So it's smoke alarms go off. It's a whole problem. I burnt queso on the stove one time. How do you do that?
Have you just never really had time you're always on the go, so you never really...
Yeah, sort of that. And now I do
Cooking takes time.
It does take a lot of time. And I have more time now. And so I feel like I'm getting into it more now.
We're trying to get into Sunday's kitchen and table.
Oh, okay.
Shut stuff off.
Yeah.
We're going to spend time in the kitchen cooking together.
We're
going to spend time
idea.
eating.
Yeah.
And just try to,
Yeah.
They're getting big. I don't know how much time,
right.
So let's spend it at the table and learn a skill or two. Last week we made chicken spaghetti and Holly helped me in the kitchen and Phoebe did the bread. And, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Is there other than chicken and dumplings? Is that the recipe that everybody in your family does, but everybody has their own little spin on it? Because that's our chicken spaghetti.
Chicken spaghetti.
Everybody in our family makes it, but we all make it a little bit different.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Yeah, my family's pretty traditional stuff. It's it's very American,
turkey,
meat
dressing,
and potatoes, turkey and dressing, yeah.
Did you guys do the green bean casserole kind of stuff at Thanksgiving?
We don't do green bean casserole.
Did you do the candy jams with the marshmallows on top that are crispy because they've been in the oven?
No.
What?
Maybe we're not as... It's mostly the dressing that I care about at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That's what I want, and just pour gravy on it and eat that.
If you do it right, you gotta cook the bird first because the drippings from the bird in the stuffing.
It's a whole thing.
Oh man,
it's a whole thing.
And we're getting. See, this is my. During the summer, I'm dead. Honestly, I shrivel up in a little hole. I just want air conditioning and to get away from sunlight.
I'm
and
with
then
you.
when the embers happen, September, November, December, October.
October.
Yeah,
The
when the embers
classic
happen,
holiday,
it's my favorite time of year, and then I get kind of down when the worries happen.
Sure. The embers and the wherries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there in the name that you wary.
Yeah.
You should be wary.
Yeah.
Of
so
this
so
month.
right now I'm like, we are.
You're waking up.
You're
like ramping up to.
If you're a foodie and all year long people are like, you need to watch what you eat. This is the time of year you're like, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I'm gonna eat what I want.
Right. Like this is. What the holidays are for, is eating.
See, that's our family. Is your family like that? Like our traditions are food.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Is there anything that you're gonna make sure that you pass on?
Oh gosh, to my dog.
Well, I mean, he's got to stay fit. He's going to open for you on that global tour.
That's right. Like, he does have to stay fit.
You got to learn how to cook,
pal.
pal.
Do some push-ups, start cooking. Yeah. Yeah, if I ever have those children things, I'm sure that I will try to pass on some, I'll try to make sure that they like chicken and dumplings and they can make it, even though I haven't mastered it yet, but I'm working on it. It's not a complicated recipe. They're very easy to make.
It's
it's
like biscuit
it's
dough
biscuits and chicken.
And chicken broth.
Yeah, it's super easy. I've
never done it.
But the last time, so I've tried the last 3 times I put it in too small of a pot, so they all clumped together, so it was one big dumpling, sort of nod on it.
There's a crock pot version where you just put it all together and go to work and come back and it's done.
Nice. I like to make potato soup like that, but I put the hash browns in there instead of potatoes. I don't even do, but it tastes the same to me.
Potato soup and you use hash browns.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I put it in a crock pot.
I don't like big chunks of potato. That sounds amazing.
Put hash browns in there.
Huh.
Have a Pinterest recipe. I just got on my Pinterest today. Yeah, pro tip. You heard it here first. Hash browns in a crock pot for potato soup. Game changer.
See, I don't do chicken and dumplings. I do the Jewish one.
What's the Jewish one?
Chicken and matzo ball soup. A matzo ball is like a Jewish dumpling.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Yeah. I'm sure that's good. Yeah. Sounds good.
Miss Blake, how we normally like to wrap things up around here is you were on News Junkie, weren't you? Did you ever guest on News Junkie?
I did.
Okay, you know the game we used to play where we'd pull someone on stage and we'd have to guess their name, where they were from, and a secret that nobody knew about them, and gave all of us a chance to riff on an audience member.
Oh, yeah.
Norman Jackson would do that.
Yeah,
okay.
I do remember that.
So same way, same kind of vibe, but
Okay.
this is how we wrap things up.
Okay.
If you saw yourself for the first time across the street, what do you think her name is?
Her name is probably Rachel. I've gotten several people have called me Rachel that didn't know me, so it feels like maybe there's a reason for that.
I'm working on a joke right now.
People have called me that.
About a friend of mine he's a Salvation Army Santa. And every time somebody donates, he always tries to guess their name. Like, hey, thanks, Dave. Hey, thanks, Tom. And people are like, whatever. And they And I'm like, why do you do that? And he's like, because the one time I get it right for the rest of his life, that guy's gonna think I'm the real fucking Santa.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, I really like that idea.
Rachel. Where do you think Rachel's from? Just looking at her.
I do think she's from the Midwest.
Rachel the bag bitch.
Rachel, yeah. # bag bitch. Yeah, I think she's probably from the middle of the country.
The middle of the country.
Yeah.
Final question. What is a secret that nobody knows about Rachel from the middle of the country?
She really likes to kill people and bury them in her basement.
It's a cautionary tale. If you see Rachel,
Just like that,
stay away from Rachel.
You see Rachel and you're like, she's harmless, but secretly, she's not.
Secretly, Rachel has a smell coming from her basement. What's the big deal?
It's fine. They're like,
this really has been a great interview, really fun. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shawna Blake.
Yes.
Finally,
John.
I'm so happy.
I'm happy to have gotten to be here.
I know, right?
It's fun.
I'm going to let her do what everybody does, raid my fridge, and then I'm kicking her out. And we'll be right back. I think we're doing PUBG tonight, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. And then I look at the camera, And now I know where to edit.
Perfect.